All right, Zach has a question for you guys. He says, the Wealth Multiplier chart is causing me hesitation.
Whoa.
I know. If you want to know what the Wealth Multiplier chart is, just head out to moneyguy.com/resources, get your free copy. He says, I'm 34, married with kids, and on step 8 of the financial order of operations.
Nice.
But I can't justify $30K on a truck. I have the cash to do it, but the growth potential stresses me out. Am I overthinking it?
Welcome to the plight and struggle of being a financial mutant.
I mean, Zach, look, we can tell you how to save money, and we can tell you how to optimize, and we can walk you through the financial order of operations, but it's hard. It's really hard to turn a saver into a spender. You think it's hard right now at 34? Let me go ahead and tell you how the rest of your story is going to look, because I don't know a whole lot about your situation, but I imagine you're a diligent saver, and you've been saving for a while, and you're going to continue doing that. And one day, your pot of money is going to get so big that you're going to say, you know what? I have enough money that I can walk away from the workforce, and I can live off of my resources. And then all of a sudden, after an entire lifetime of being a saver, you're just supposed to flip a switch and become a spender. It is a really, really difficult thing for financial mutants to do. And you, being in the messy middle right now, are recognizing firsthand, yeah, sometimes it's kind of hard to save money or to spend money. That's why we put the rules in place. That's why we come up with the 25% savings rate. And when you say that you're on step 8, that tells me that you're already saving 25% of your gross income for the future. If you're doing that, what we hope is that that will free you up. That will give you a release to where now if you want to go out and spend money, if you need to replace your truck, if you need to go on that vacation, you need to take that trip, you can do it guilt-free because you know you've taken care of the things that you were supposed to take care of. So if you have the $30K to pay for the truck and you're still able to save 25% and you've been doing that and you have cash to pay for it, I get the opportunity cost, but alternative, you don't buy the truck, you got to walk everywhere. That doesn't sound awesome either.
So Zach says he's 34, right?
Yep.
I think Zach is hitting something that I think all of us financial mutants struggle with. Your journey to be a full-blown financial mutant might start initially with being a tightwad. Mm-hmm. Been there, done that. Self-identified as a coupon king. Back as the kid with I didn't have the fat wallet full of cash. I had the fat wallet full with coupons and all the other fun stuff. And but here's the thing I need Zach to recognize. You will reach a transition point, and this is one of my favorite things to do as a financial advisor. We're not financial advisors that we spend all of our time saying no to clients. We actually spend a lot of our time liberating clients to actually feel comfortable maximizing each decade of their life. We've even done a tool for people who don't feel like their life is just complex enough to need a financial advisor, the Know Your Number course. So if you go to learn.moneyguy.com, so Zach, you could look and see, are you ahead of the curve, behind the curve, or right where you need to be? And why that's important is because if you are way ahead of the curve and you're starting to hear whispers in your ear from loved ones where they saying, you know, Dad, why do we sleep in the closet when we go to on the beach trips instead of, actually getting a bigger bedroom condo so that we can have beds?
Or the kids sleep on the floor or something that.
I've heard all kind of crazy stuff, or we've done crazy stuff, where it's, where the pack and play's in the closet instead of getting another room or something like that. But you'll hear things from your family that will give you some clues that maybe you're holding on a little too tightly. And that's why use the data, use the math of the situation so that you can make sure that you can slow down and then enjoy each decade of your life. Because you're only going to be in your 30s. Your kids are only going to be at this age if you have kids, or you and your spouse are only going to be able to travel at this decade like this. Make sure you don't get to a point where you say, if I only have this much more money, I'll be able to accomplish this. You're not guaranteed any of that. I know I sound like a YOLOer when I say that. That's why I think that we are unique in the fact that we give you the math, but we also want to give you the mindset so you do truly enjoy each decade of your life so that you maximize your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, but you actually get through those decades with zero regrets. And that's a special power, and that's something that I pride myself that we try to focus on that for our listeners, because it is a struggle. Bo is exactly right. A lot of our retirees just are so tight. And I sit there and think about that stat that, yes, millionaires are typically first generation, meaning close to 80% are first generation. But by second generation, 70% of the money is gone. By third generation, meaning the grandkids, 90% of the time the money is gone. So you might be having trouble spending your money. Your kids and grandkids likely will have no problem blowing through it whatsoever. So make sure you're just being very purposeful, that you are making those blossoming memories and enjoying each phase.
Can I add one thing to this? Only because, Zach, I hear you. Here's one of the ways that I kind of gamify spending a little bit. I was planning on doing the Cybertruck thing, right? You and I talked about it. It was that coffee's getting him.
It's really bad.
I was planning on doing the Cybertruck, but I needed a new vehicle, so I wanted to go get something to kind of like wait for the Cybertruck to come out. So I went and started test driving some trucks, and I was looking at the Ford Raptors. You know why? You know why I was looking at the Raptors? Because they were super cool. They just looked awesome. They're just cool looking.
I've literally have heard rock stars or people who are married to rock stars, because I think it was Corey, the guy who's married to Pink. He said he got more attention in a Raptor than he got in some of his exotics.
Super cool. So I went and drove a bunch of them, and they're like really, really expensive. And then I finally said, but what are you doing? Like, you're going to buy a pickup truck. Why are you thinking about doing that? And so rather than going and spending that much money on that truck, I got a much more reasonable truck that, I mean, it's still super cool, but it wasn't spending that. And the fact that, Zach, you're only thinking about spending $30,000 on a truck and you have the cash to pay for it, I think you're thinking about it the right way. Yeah. I don't think it's crazy.
Yeah, but and look, I mean, because I know Bo's truck, it's beautiful. It's all lifted up. I think his testosterone level probably went up 30 points just by the way this thing is all structured. I mean, it's a good looking truck. So there's nothing wrong, Zach. I want you, at the end of the day, you got to be happy in your own skin.
That's right.
So find something. I don't want you to listen to this and then you go buy an $80,000 truck, but just because you can, and then you're like, these idiots led me astray. Make sure you're always checking to know who you are, but you're just not putting artificial restrictions on yourself when you actually should celebrate some of the success that you've created.